I'm Rachel Land, and this is Money Monday. This is the day of the week where I tell you everything that I spent in the last week. If you are new to my channel, I am on a journey to get out of my student loan debt and lose some weight along the way. If any of that interests you, just go ahead and click that red subscribe button down below and join me on this journey. So of course today is Money Monday, so I'm going to tell you everything that I spent in the last week. This just kind of keeps my spending under control because it holds me accountable because I report everything that I spend to you. Not everything is included in Money Mondays. If you want to see everything that comes out of my account, such as automatic payments and bills and things like that that I pay regularly, then you'll see that on top of anything that I spend on my card will be in my budget videos that I typically do on Fridays. I do those a couple of times a month, so you can check those out and see everything that I spend, including anything that's on my card. For Money Monday, I cover not just my card purchases, but also gift cards and cash that I spend, and that does not go in my budget. So there is plenty to see in both Money Mondays and my Financial Friday budget videos. For the purposes of Money Monday, my week goes from Saturday to Friday of the previous week. That gives me a couple of days to get it up onto YouTube for you, and then it keeps the weekend together, which I feel like holds me a little bit more accountable. Let's go ahead and get into it. On Saturday, July 13th, I spent nothing. On Sunday, July 14th, I spent $25 on a book. This is pretty unusual for me because I tend to get most of my books from the library to save money, and there's not a whole lot of books anymore that I really feel like I want to own and keep. There are a few that I have and I don't plan on giving those up, and there are a few books that I would like to eventually maybe purchase, but this one was a situation that just kind of somewhat fell in my lap, and I felt like I really wanted to get this book, and it will probably be next on my reading list as well. So my church is about to adopt a refugee family, and I kind of want to leave all politics out of this, and refugees and immigrants are two totally different things, and I know immigrants are a big thing in the news lately, and so these are two totally separate things, and our church is going to adopt a refugee family that is some people that are literally fearing for their lives, and they have been severely vetted, and they have been displaced from their home for a variety of different reasons. Now, we don't know anything about the family that we will be adopting yet because nobody knows who it's going to be, but our church is preparing to kind of adopt a refugee family. So one thing that we did to kind of spread awareness to the rest of the church that this is something that we're doing is they had an event where they made some recipes from this book that I'm about to show you, and kind of had them talk about, what it's going to be like, and some things to expect, and some areas that we still need help in, and that kind of thing. And the author of the book came and spoke, and the author of the book just happened to go to my high school as well, so we both graduated from the same high school. She graduated about 10 years before I did, but I thought it was really, really cool that this is, a kind of like a sister of mine in a sense, somebody that I graduated high school with. I guess we didn't graduate high school together, but we went to the same one. She is somebody that works with refugees and helping them learn English, and she actually wrote this book. And so here is the book. It is called Flavors from Home. And it's Refugees in Kentucky Share Their Stories and Comfort Foods. It's by Aimee Zaring, and you can actually get this on Amazon. I looked it up, and it's the same price on Amazon, but I figured I would rather buy it directly from her, and so she actually signed it to me. So that is something that you cannot get on Amazon. I did actually spend a little bit more money on the hardback version. There is a paperback version, which is a little bit cheaper. I think it's like $20. And I splurged on the hardback version because the pictures, there are pictures here in the middle, and in the hardback version they're in color, but in the paperback version they are in black and white, and they're not quite as good. This book is actually more of a narrative cookbook, so it does have recipes and all of that, but there are stories, and it's it kind of makes me think of Chicken Soup for the Soul with recipes, and all the stories are about refugees in Kentucky that are living in Kentucky. So I'd like to read just a little excerpt for you from the book. Choosing to concentrate on that which unites us rather than divides us, I included little information about politics, war, and other conflicts, unless it was critical to a contributor's story, provided a historical backdrop, or clarified situations or events. In those stories, you will follow individuals through the jungles of Burma and through the jungles of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, one fighting for his life and the other running for his. You will meet one of the original Vietnamese boat people who spent more than 30 days at sea and later became one of Louisville's most successful restaurateurs. You will meet highly educated men and women, doctors, lawyers, engineers, who once had thriving careers in their homelands but have struggled to find employment in America or have had to accept low-income jobs well beneath their education and skill levels. You will meet some who are disenchanted with their lives in the United States and others who would bleed red, white, and blue if they could. Some have been able to achieve the American dream, raising families, buying cars and homes, and even opening their own businesses after years of sweat, sacrifice, and determination. So this is definitely next on my reading list because I know it's a cookbook and it's kind of crazy to put a cookbook next on my reading list, but I just I really wanted to read it, and this is one that I feel like I need to own. So that's why I spent the extra money on that. Now I used cash, so this actually won't come out of my budget, because if it did, that would be pretty much all of my spending money for the whole month just on this book, because I have lowered that down quite a bit. But I had a little extra cash and decided to purchase this book with it. I'm also going to read a little bit from the cover. In Flavors from Home, Aimee Zaring shares fascinating and moving stories of courage, perseverance, and self-reinvention from Kentucky's resettled refugees. Each chapter features a different person or family and one or more carefully selected recipes. These traditional dishes, with ingredients from their new American pantries, nourish both body and soul. There are 42 recipes and 23 different stories. I'm like flipping through this book, and it's actually almost hard to find the recipes because they're just kind of like woven into the story, and I think that I'm sure that she did that on purpose from the way that she talked about the book. Like I know that she did that on purpose, because the recipe, it's not so much a cookbook, it's just the recipe is there to share more about the story. So there's recipes like bosanski, I will probably butcher these, bosanski lepina, Bosnian flatbread, chipsi maye, French fried potatoes and eggs, sambusas, zakan, rice pudding, emadachi, chili and cheese soup. So there's all kinds of different recipes from all over, literally all over the world. I honestly don't think I've been this excited to purchase something in a very long time. And the event that our church had was kind of fun. I mean, it was completely free. We just went, and the author was there and sold a few books, but she was able to talk about it and talk about how important it is to support a refugee family and just what all they have to go through before they can get here. They also had a couple of the recipes, and somebody made them, and there were only a couple, and I wish that there was more, but there were only a couple recipes, but there was a little bit of food to try. And then of course I had to get the book because I just thought it was an amazing thing, and it's even won an award, and it's a long name of the award, so I'm not going to say what it is, but you can check it out on Amazon if you are interested in this book, and I will actually leave the link down below. It is not an affiliate link whatsoever, so it's just the link to the book. Also on a Sunday, I almost went to McDonald's to buy some of their like international sandwiches. I know that they have like this international stuff going on, and I wanted to see what kinds of things that they had. And when I got to McDonald's and I saw the sandwiches on the menu, like I was not impressed with the choices. It was basically a chicken sandwich with like I don't know, a special sauce on it. And I mean, like, the sandwiches weren't all that different from what they would normally have, and so it wasn't special enough for me to spend my money at McDonald's, so I spent nothing. But I thought it was worth saying, because that's like a big thing. A lot of times, you know, I would go looking for something that I'd seen advertised on TV, and even if I didn't want it, I might just try it anyway. Or if I decided I didn't want it, then I'm like, well, I'm already here, might as well get something, and I would get something else. Well, I drove through the drive-thru and I didn't get anything because it wasn't worth the money to spend. And I'm glad that I checked it out because I was interested. I wanted to see what new things they had for a limited time. I was drawn in by that advertising, and when I inspected it further, I found out that it's not all it's cracked up to be. I am glad that I looked, because once those items are gone, then I would be like, oh man, I wish I would have tried it. But now I can say, no, I didn't want to try it. Alright, moving on to the rest of the week. Monday, July 15th through Thursday, July 18th, I spent nothing. It has been so hot, I just don't want to go outside. I don't want to do anything. On Friday, July 19th, I spent $66. Well, I technically spent $66 renewing my car registration. My car is actually under both my dad's and my name, because when I first got my car, my dad actually co-signed for the loan with me, and so both of our names are on there, and we just went together to pay it. But my dad ended up paying for all of the cars, including mine, so I now owe my dad $66. That I'll probably take that out of what he gives me monthly to make up for my student loans, so it'll probably come out that way instead of me paying him directly, unless he needs it. So if he needs it, it'll come out of the bank. I'll take it out of my sinking funds, but if he doesn't need the money right away, then I'll just use it from the money that he gives me once a month to make up the difference between my rent payment and my student loan payment that I pay in place of my rent. On Friday, I also spent $25.06 at Kroger. This went on my card, and I had to get gas. I also gave $20 in cash to my friend. I drove to Northern Kentucky, and we did an escape room, which was so fun, and we escaped. Here's a picture. We just barely escaped, although we would have done it a lot faster had one of the keys come out properly like it was supposed to, but we still made it. We were so excited. It was so fun. She had paid for the whole thing, and then we just each gave her $20, and so I gave her $20 cash. That's the easiest way to do it. Then we went out to dinner. We went to BJ's restaurant in Northern Kentucky. I spent $18.32, including tax. I know that I had my entire restaurant budget open and available, and I just didn't worry about what it was that I got while we were at the restaurant. So, I mean, I worried about it in the sense that I looked at the calories more carefully than I looked at the price. But I made sure that it was within my budget. We also had dessert, and I don't know where BJ's is located within the world, particularly the US, but I don't think there's any BJ's in Louisville, but there is in Northern Kentucky, and they have these things called a pizookie, which I think is a take on pizza and cookie, but oh my gosh, they are so good. If I can get a photo, then I'm going to insert it here. I had salted caramel, and they have big ones, which are this big, but then they have trios, which you can get 3 different kinds, and they're this big, and there were 6 of us, and we split. 3 of us split 3, and then the other 3 split another 3, and so we had a little one, and I gave my friend $3.35 in cash that I just pulled out of my wallet, and I gave her because she put the trio on her bill, and I gave her the cash for buying the dessert. That is everything that I spent this past week. I would love to know from you, what is something that you spent money on this week? Also, let me know if you're interested in that book. I know it's a little bit different, so I'm just curious if you are interested in it as much as I was. So leave me a comment down below and let me know. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and share this video, all of that stuff, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!